I want to know what people think about this, right? And I'm expecting to get controversial response because you know us as Jamaican people, we tend to say poor people have to eat too. You know what I mean? And sometimes when the rules are broken, we tend to sway to the other side because we say, yo, we are terrible, man.
Hustling for Guam.
Yeah.
Hustling for Guam, poor people have to eat. So, you know, somebody's stealing light. We don't really say them a thief, we just say hustling for Guam because people are suffer. They have to balance the sufferation with some free light. You know, some free this and some free that. So we tend to sympathize with the hustling when it comes to our culture, especially back home in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Here's something interesting. There is a new complaint on the island that has now emerged about teachers selling snacks at schools. Teachers selling snacks at school. Now, let me explain to you guys before I get into the story what this means. Teachers are bringing snacks from their house to sell the kids at school. So maybe they might go Mega Mart or go to Mr. Chin Wholesale and buy some cookie and some this and some that, and they bring it to school and they sell it to the students for maybe lunch recess or snack time or whatever it is, right? And it's starting to become so popular in the system, school system in Jamaica, that now it's like we have to stop this. And persons are asking it to be stopped for a number of reasons. One, the teachers are not authorized to sell snacks. However, bear in mind, the teachers are doing this to kind of offset their income.
Their salary,
right? Them not make no money from, you know, their job and the headache that the job gives them, even though, yes, some of them now say, yeah, but they signed up to be a teacher. We get that, right? But they're feeling that they're falling short on salary, so they find a way to say, all right, cool, look, a cookie can sell, look, a chips can sell, look, a juice can sell, bam, 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 whatever, and we can't eat our food. So I guess, based on the popularity of this action, it's working. The teacher, they must sell off them goods.
Yeah.
Right? Because another teacher do it, and another teacher do it, then another school do it, and another school do it. Now, do you have a problem with this? It's a growing concern now that teachers are selling snacks at school. This is not against snacks provided by the school. This is snacks that the teachers are buying, wholesale more than likely, bringing them to school and selling them to students. How do you feel about this? Is this a, oh, hell no? Or is this a, well, I can understand why they might do that?
You know what? Let's be honest. It costs something for the teachers to go to school. They have to find, you know, money for transportation. You know, they have to pay rent. They have to do all of these things. Now, under normal circumstances, I would say no. But as you talk to teachers, you realize that a lot of them are there because of the love of being there. They could have left and gone somewhere else. So if they find a way to get by, because they're not getting paid. How many months these teachers haven't been paid? And they're finding a way. It's kind of in my book that is being resourceful, because they could have gone and take up an offer for go overseas. They could have gone, leave the job and go somewhere else. They're trying to hustle. So with nothing else available, I'm in solidarity with them.
You're in solidarity. Call you live. What do you feel about this?
I have to agree with Sherry 100%.
So you're saying that it should be okay because them need for pay for transportation and need a look hustling?
Of course, because the Jamaican earnings are very low. Take a nurse, for instance. A nurse only make $108 American dollars per week. That same nurse will come here and make $2,000 a week. So if a teacher can pick up some extra money doing that, I have no objections.
All right, live.
Listen, the teacher them make them do what them a do. And number two, that's not strange. I hears that are gone. And I hears that is anything to do things in the same classroom there, what government should do. I tell you that's not because when you should go high school, teachers have to have fundraising sometime. For what government should be subsidizing, they don't, because money starts account to them. So that same money, sometimes the teachers might even get much out of it. It helps students, and it do what government fails to do. Teachers, you think they not focus on something? Why they not focus on all right, Since it pose a problem, stop the teachers from doing me like paying them, giving them what they deserve, so they don't have to do it. But you are ball and a crying. How them to reach up, boss man? The teachers supposed to help maintain, and that's what they are doing.
Right? Should teachers be allowed to have the look of hustling, handbag hustling, you know what I mean? Look at chips, look at cookie, look at this and that, look at juice, to be able to sell to the students to offset their lack of, compensation by the for school, for their paycheck? Or is this an absolute offense? Like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. Call your life.
It is such a big no. It is just, come on. Let's turn the table and play devil's advocate. I'm a student. I want to help out mommy and daddy at home to send me to school. So I'm going to sell a couple of T-shirts and some socks. If the teacher can do it, I can do it too. What's going to stop me?
So you're saying that to help daddy pay school tuition, no, y'all go to school, go sell some socks and some T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, why not? The teacher can do it. Why can't I do it?
Interesting.
Are they saying that it's not healthy food? Are they saying that you're dipping into our pockets because we are trying to make money and sell lunch? And
before I tell you what they're saying, I want to hear what you're saying. How do you feel about it without knowing any of the other?
I totally understand why they would be doing it, because it's disgraceful what they get paid, and only for them never even get paid much, right? So of course you leave them with no alternative. So I do understand it. However, if I'm flipping the script on the other side, then I'm gonna say you're setting a bad precedent, as the previous caller said, for anybody. So I'm on the edge with it, but overall I'm all right with
Call
it.
your life.
Yeah, Chin.
Yes.
Each of them do what them have to do to survive. And everybody, the teacher, if it wasn't for teacher, you wouldn't have scientists, you wouldn't have engineer, you wouldn't have nothing. The teacher is the basic of education. You understand me? And them not treat the teacher them how them supposed to treat it.
One thing I'm saying about that, I think it's okay for the teacher them go and do like hustling, but if the parents teacher meeting when they have, could have keep a dance every month and also for the teacher.
No, sir.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
I really think the man I talk about it, man.
Dance, you know.
I really think the man I say, man, if parent teacher could have keep that, the
Any
teacher association
reason.
keep a little dance,
Keep a nice dance,
book sound and them something there, everybody win.
Call your life.
Yeah, the schools need to step their game up, man. If they see the teachers doing it, they got to do better for the students. And competitiveness is good. When I went to school back home in secondary school, they had the canteen. They had people on the side of the road that had permit to cook food. You had the option of buying food in the canteen, or you could buy your food on the side of the road. These people had permits to sell food in town, so they could sell food outside the gate or by the gate of the school.
What country
and
are you
at
from?
the end of the day, from St. Lucia.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, some people would choose what they want. The price would be cheap, or the food would be fresh, or what the canteen was serving they wouldn't eat. So they had options. But if the teacher's not making money, and how much money they're gonna make on it? It's not like they're making money. But the school's supposed to sit back and solve the problem. You know what I'm saying? And say, well, all right, if the teachers are doing that, let me put a budget for the kids, for more food and to help the kids,
Here is the quote unquote concern. Nutrition. Right? It's a major concern. Now, there is currently no national school nutrition policy in Jamaica. Right? However, the Ministry of Health is consistently encouraging schools to rid their canteens of items that are unhealthy, right? Starting with sugary drinks and sweets and blah, blah, blah. Some of the same items that the teachers are hustling on the campus, right? Reports are that it's not uncommon to see teachers selling all kind of biscuits, sugary drinks, and even sweets to students on the school compound. Some of the items are homemade, right? Which I guess people would say red flag there, right? Some of the items are homemade, which include coconut drops, grater cake. Others may buy a box of donuts from Mega Mart and cakes, and then they sell them individually at school, right? So it's kind of like them a hustle, as we
Right,
say. Them
right.
they're doing hustling, right? And a lot of people are saying that this is not a good thing, right? This has to stop.
It's interesting that you said since they're homemade, there's a red flag there. Now, have we reached that point in Jamaican
Jamaica.
society? We know how America stay, but have we reached that point in Jamaican society where if the teacher makes some drops or gives the other or greater cake or something like that and bring to the kids that because they were made at home, we won't trust it more than if they were bought from Megamart?
Me playing devil's advocate would answer you this way. We may not be at that place, but if something was to go wrong, then the school would look, we got to look at these things on
The
both
school-
sides.
Right, that's what I'm asking,
Right?
yeah.
So if a teacher, and again, I understand the teacher's hustling. But
I
now
do.
I'll fight that. My thing is always to understand all four corners of the room
course.
and then have the argument in the middle of the room, right? One of the corners is that the teachers, them not getting paid.
Right.
And we agree in that corner. Now let's go to the next corner that says that anyone to get sick or anything on the compound that they consumed from a teacher who's employed by the same establishment, the establishment can be held responsible for
Right.
that.
Correct.
That's
Right?
true.
Correct.
So let's say the teacher makes gazada or she makes this or she makes that and a child gets severely sick from it, right? That's a concern to the establishment.
Correct.
It should be
Correct.
a concern to
It
the
is,
establishment.
yeah.
All right, cool. Now the ministry is trying their best, even though they don't have a policy, quote unquote, they're trying their best to get rid of certain type of things being sold in the school.
'Cause they're
Right.
unhealthy.
So the canteen that they do have control of can't sell certain things.
Right.
However, now what they can sell is going to become second nature to what the kids can get from the teacher.
Right.
Right.
So now the teacher them, I cut out the little money from the canteen.
Canteen,
Which
right.
is what I was my primary thing.
Right.
If I'm thinking from an
So
administrator.
I'm just speaking from
perspective.
every corner.
Right, right.
No, one corner where I say, yo, the teacher them now getting the money, so
for
them
the
have to do what
food.
them have to do. The second corner is the health risks, right? It's one of the reasons why, if you go into certain hotels, I don't know if they still do this, but once upon a time in hotels, they would not allow you to warm up food there.
Yeah.
Hotels
Oh,
here,
outside
right,
food,
right. They
right.
wouldn't allow you to warm up outside food because the common understanding before was you consume that food and you get sick, you can use the hotel to be liable.
Right, so they won't
right?
let you bring out the outside food.
Right.
Yeah.
That I don't know if it's like that now, but that's how it started off. And I'm using that as an example to say, listen, these are unauthorized drinks, snacks, and the fact that some teachers are even making them,
Right.
it could be even more of a risk factor than going buying them from Mr. Chin. Right? So health is involved.
That's
right.
That's what I was asking.
Then now in the next corner number 3, it's the competitiveness of what the school earns from the kids versus the teacher them know I cut the school short. And I know enough people are listening and saying, what you mean? Teacher for cut them short after them I make money off of the picnic them and now pay the teacher.
Right.
But again, this will be the concern of the school. Right? Our canteens are being abandoned because we have all of the good sweets them what the
Right.
picnic them want.
Right.
And we are trying to wean them off of the sweets anyway.
Right, but Miss Smith, greater cake up top, and we'll buy one tomorrow.
718-554-8598 is that number in studio. So teachers have not been given permission to sell anything on the compound, right? That's one, right? The parents, the kids' parents also don't know that their child is at school buying such stuff from the teacher.
True,
Right.
true.
Right? So again, that's another factor, right?
And the teacher was getting paid. The economic system, system was much better. So teacher never have to go hustle like all them a hustle. God them could serve them. Them could pay them rent. Them could go supermarket and buy them food. Nowadays you can't buy nothing. So the teacher them have to do extra, just like even a man in the street. A man at work and him take him cab, go also cab on the side. To be able to fit some of the bills them we have. You understand me? And the same way with the teacher. You understand? Time hard. And the government sit down, panic, and spread it amongst the teacher, them keep it amongst themselves.
I would just like to say, if the teachers are to present food, they should just set a quality standard what to present. And once you set the quality standard of what to present to the students, allow them to do it.
I
agree
like
with
that.
that.
I
I agree
like
with
that.
that.
For real.
Give the
For
teacher
real.
them a chance to hustle them thing.
Yeah. And you know what? This is another example of holding the underdog hostage. Because here it is. They're not setting themselves up like any standard for themselves. You know, they've been lacking in paying the teachers, right? Now the teachers finding a way to, make two ends meet. And
Eat a food.
Eat a food. You understand? And then them all upon them. Why is it they're not as strict on themselves and say, okay, then let me pay the teacher. That way you can alleviate part of the problem, And I like the idea of that, setting up the standard. But remember also, we've spoken to so many teachers. A lot of these teachers are providing food for some of these kids.
True.
Now, this is a way to offset that. Some of them are buying tools and equipment for these kids. So listen, allow the teachers figure out a way how you can regulate it and make them money.
Because I'm not a teacher, but I've been taught, right? And I understand that at times when a teacher becomes so indulged in their students, they will go in their pockets to get instruments and games and stuff that the school may not provide to end up with the end of year results.
Yeah.
Every
Exactly.
teacher want to know that
Lots of times.
all of their students have made the grade. You know what I mean? And sometimes you may have special students where the school now help you provide for those students, and you may go in your pocket and say, yo, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy this game. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that to help these kids.
So I think it's a bad look for the Ministry of Education to even go against the teachers now with this, considering all that they have been facing, especially, such a bad light the ministry has been, for them to bring this up, because nobody's going to have sympathy for the ministry. You and myself brought up the other side, from an administrative point of view, thinking from the school, when they are cutting our money and, all of that. But really, I think that the ministry is up against a social and a commentary right now where I really think they need more bad press against the teacher them now.
But you see, this is the thing that, I don't think you guys are realizing. This attack on the teachers will be under the disguise of nutrition.
Right.
So
as you don't have a nutritional statement.
Right.
You see. So it's foolish off the
So
back.
you understand. So it's not going to be like, yo,
we have stopped the teacher them from hustle.
We're not stopping the food.
Right.
But what Una do is dangerous to the pitney.
Yeah, we're
Right.
concerned about
it's
the
going to
kids
be
them.
under the whole umbrella of we are protecting the kids them. And
Right.
we own a whole heap of back pay. And we're not paying us since December. However,
Una
Una
can't
can't
rat
take
no
it
the
out
pitney
on the
them
pitney
teeth.
them.
Right.
That's what it's going to be.
You can't rat no the pitney them teeth.
Call it alive.
Yeah, man. Big up the sound chat.
Big up.
Big up.
Yeah. I'm a teacher, so I understand the whole thing about going into your pockets to provide for your kids, because some of them, that's not the meal they're getting for the day. I'm not going to tell you that, but I agree with that teaching in D.C.
See,
But as far as down there, I feel like the government is embarrassed. It's an embarrassment to the government that the teachers have to do this to get paid, because the real problem is the money. They're not getting the proper money. They're not getting respectful money. And money that late backed up, that's disrespect after a certain point.
Because every civil servant in Jamaica also. You check it. The nurses also, the police also, everyone also. They're no different from teachers. Why them come down as teachers? Teachers are the most important from a civil servant in Jamaica. See? So I don't see nothing wrong with them also, because sometimes the same school in Edgemode and the same student in Edgemode.
here's another concern, and I know some of you might think these are petty excuses, right? Another concern is that a lot of the children are spending their lunch money and their bus fare on snacks provided by the teachers.
All the previous callers said, the Ministry of Education, they need to step their game up. They need to do what's good for the children. The same people out there with the stores with the permit, keyword permit.
How come nobody is crying shame at Board of Education? Everybody's shaming the teachers. Board of Education is at fault because they're not giving them bread, and the teachers are trying to make biscuits, because they're in a survival mode. It's shame on Jamaica's Board of Education. Why are the teachers being vilified? That's not right. Have a good night.